Born in 1500, a cousin to Henry VIII, Reginald Pole was to be the last Catholic Archbishop of Canterbury. At 21, Henry gave him a generous allowance to study at Padua University. He corresponded with Wolsey, Erasmus, who introduced him to fellow humanist scholars, and had a single letter from Pope Clement VII. After 5 years, Pole returned to England, to a decade which saw court society turned on its head. In the midst of all this, in 1530, Pole and Cromwell discussed politics. Pole said his ideal was Plato's Republic, a dictatorship by benign philosophers, of which Joseph Heller said, "It stinks." Cromwell mentioned Machiavelli, who had died just 3 years earlier. Pole's theologically closed mind had never read him, so Cromwell offered to lend him his copy. Machiavelli was a political scientist whose study of history was concentrated into maxims, which to the modern eye appear banal. He was a republican who sought the unification of Italy, to which ends he suggested a tyrant unite the city-states and drive out France, Spain and Austria. Ironically, Machiavelli's exemplar Bismarck wanted the same for Germany, to which ends he annexed Schleswig-Holstein, isolated and defeated Austria, and then isolated, discredited and defeated France.
Can only be used for a policy worth its sacrifices.
Oh, don't cry, man.
His tears are political.
I may as well be dead.
Sit down and be reasonable.
But your majesty will not listen to me!
Listen to him, Father.
I began this war for a political purpose. Now it's achieved.
Back in 1530, Pole was walking a tightrope. He'd taken 300 crowns to procure the support of Paris University for Henry's divorce, but had bridled at the death of More and Fisher and taken a cardinal's hat from Rome. He then toured Europe promoting an embargo against England, was declared a traitor, his family dispossessed and his brother and mother executed. Henry VIII died in 1547 and after a short reign, Edward VI died. Catholic Mary came to the throne and Pole returned to England. He was finally ordained a priest and celebrated his first Mass on the day Cranmer was burnt in Oxford. 2 days later he was made Archbishop of Canterbury and presided over a horror show as hundreds went to the stake. When heretics came within Pole's purview, he'd pardon them, but otherwise kept his own counsel. Finally, after sacrificing his family for Rome, the Pope accused him of heresy, for humanist views he'd held as a young man. He was stripped of his position as papal legate and ordered back to Rome. He never went. 12 hours after Queen Mary died, Pole died of flu.